Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey guys, it's Adam here. In the previous episodes of Flying and Eating, I made my way out to Berlin, Germany. We scoped out a whole bunch of history, both World War II and the Cold War, etc. Today, though, we're going to make our way out to Potsdam. Guten Tag. What is it? Today's day 4 or 5? I think it's 5. Anyway, I am now in Potsdam, and this is Chris. It's my boy. Yeah, well, let's walk and talk. He and I actually met, back in 2017?
Yeah. 2017.
Yeah, back in 2017, I was in Berlin, and he's just like, yo, want to hang out? And I was like, yeah. And then we went to Vapiano. We had pizza. It was all right. The Coke was good, though.
The Coke was good, yes.
The Coca-Cola, you sickos. Anyway, so what we're doing now, we're out in Potsdam. We're going to show you a little historical site, because Potsdam is known for one very particular thing, historically speaking. I think you know what it is.
It's the, what is it? The Potsdamer Abkommen. It's the Potsdam, what is the English translation?
What, Potsdam Conference?
Yeah, the Potsdam Conference at Schloss Sizilien.
That's too much German there. I'm not following that. But basically, yes, the end of the war, end of World War II. Potsdam Conference is where the Allies, the British, the Americans, and then the Soviets all get together and say, like, here's how we're going to cut up Germany, and let's make a declaration for Japan to figure out how the atomic bombs and the end of the war is going to go. So I thought we'd check it out, since it's only like, what, an hour west of Berlin, if that?
Yeah, I want an hour.
Yeah, we're not that far. And it's just kind of a cool thing to see. Plus, we're in the former East Germany that isn't the west part of Berlin. This to him is just funny. To me, it's like unique.
It's just standard. I mean, that's where I grew up.
Exactly my point. Okay, so you guys want to see something kind of weird? I'm out in Potsdam, as I mentioned before. Found an embassy. The embassy of Venezuela is here. I don't know why this isn't downtown in Berlin with all the others, but it was unexpected. So technically over there, look, I'm touching Venezuela. Ooh, I've been to South America today. So right here we have, what's the name of that building?
Schloss Sizilienhof.
Slower.
Schloss Sizilienhof.
I got nothing. But anyway, so that's where we are. This is where the conference happens. So Truman, Stalin, and Winston Churchill all met here to discuss those peace terms. And they have tours and all sorts. It's closed today, but we really just wanted to come and be here and experience it. And what have you got going on right here?
I got a Schwipschwap, which is the Pepsi version of Mezzomix.
Or Spezi.
Spezi.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Spezi is the concept. Mezzomix is the brand from Coke. And Schwipschwap?
Schwipschwap is the Pepsi brand, exactly. And Pepsi is the concept of mixing Coke with orange lemonade.
Spezi is the concept.
Yes.
You said Pepsi is the concept.
Spezi, yes.
Oh, yeah, it's English to German, German to English. Gets a little confusing, but I hope everybody understands. How does this one compare to the Pilsner one?
So the Paulaner.
Yeah, that one.
You mean? Yeah, basically a beer company now making lemonade as well. This is sweeter, more citrusy, and I like it.
How about compared to Mezzomix?
It's better. I prefer it. I don't like Pepsi. I don't like their Fanta variant, but combined, I think it's better than the Mezzomix version.
All right, I got one too. I'm going to try it. I'm with him on this. This is much better than Mezzomix. I think you're right. It was the Palmer?
Yeah.
Palmer. Am I saying it right?
Paulaner.
See, I wasn't saying it right. That one is obviously superior, but for the conventional fast soda brands, this is better than a Mezzomix. Coke, step your game up.
We're in the Dutch Quarter of Potsdam.
Potsdam. Okay, we're still in Potsdam, Dutch Quarter, and I saw this. Cafe Guam. Is it like Guam, the American territory?
I don't know. I don't know any other word that Guam could be.
Yeah, because that's not a German. I mean, certainly I don't know German, but if he doesn't know that word, then there's a weird, we're about to see something weird possibly. I want to go see what it is. Okay, so we're at Cafe Guam now, and I asked the owner, or one of the managers there, let's walk and talk. And basically all they said was the previous owner had maybe been to Guam once. They weren't totally sure, but under new ownership, nobody has been there. Nobody even knows where it is, but they were like, whatever, that's fine. It's like a nice name, as they kept it. So shout out to all my friends in Guam. Cafe Guam's got you here in Potsdam. And they have authentic Guam style cheesecake.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about if it's authentic.
No, not even close. Actually, funny, there's not a single image of Guam or any Guam style food, nothing in there. It's just called Cafe Guam. And I might be the first person to ever go there and even know what the Guam is.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
All right, what kind of cake we got going on here?
It's cheesecake, classic. Nothing special, classic cheesecake.
That's it? All right, go for it.
All right. I haven't had this in a long time. I was here maybe like 10 years ago.
From Cafe Guam.
Yes.
I don't know how to pick it up with one hand.
It's not meant to be eaten with a fork, I think.
That would appear so. All right, here we go. Yep, classic cheesecake. Very good. So we got this stuff. What's the deal with this stuff?
And this is Fritz Lemonade, a cola company basically from Germany, and they make fantastic honeydew melon lemonade.
Yeah, it's honeydew melon. We had a little cultural exchange there because they have a lemon flavored one. He kept talking about lemonade. I'm like, do you mean that? No, I mean this. But that one's lemon. Do you mean that? No, I mean this. But this isn't lemonade, but it is?
Lemonade is basically everything that's not cola.
Not the one that actually says lemon or contains lemonade. It's the one that doesn't contain cola, is lemonade. Languages are stupid. So we're now at this ice cream place, and I guess the deal with this is this uses old GDR, German Democratic Republic, or former East German ice cream machines that don't pump air into the ice cream. As a result, it's just a bunch of goop. Technically, this is communist ice cream. So here's our communist ice cream. What can you tell me about it?
Well, this is ice cream according to the old GDR recipe, and they used like ancient GDR ice cream machines for this. Because they're all old machines, they don't produce them anymore. You can basically only get this ice cream in the former eastern part of Germany.
It melts really quick.
But it's very good.
It is good. It's thick. It's kind of like, it's almost like eating a bowl of ice cream, frosting, like cake frosting, but cold. It's good. I like it. It's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, so as far as I understand, normal soft serve ice cream is frosted up with air inside of it. These machines don't pump any air in there, so it's the solid mass.
I have had this before.
Really?
I had this in Poland, and it all makes sense now. So I would go to Gdansk, and there was this go-free, Polish word for ice cream. And I would have this ice cream. They had specifically theirs, and then they had a machine called like ice cream Amerykański. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? I didn't get that. I wanted theirs. It tastes exactly like this. I always kind of described it as like frosting or like Cool Whip, but like, yeah, that makes sense though, because Poland was forced to be in the East too. But yeah, cheers, comrade. Check this out, guys. What did we find? I found Asterix in the Malika.
On the side of the road, German experience, right?
Yeah, it really is. And models, that's also the German experience. So we were going to go to this German restaurant right here to get some, I guess, GDR type stuff, former GDR stuff. And we go up there, we're looking at the menu, the door's open, and we're talking about the menu items, and then what happened?
Yeah, they closed the door on us and they locked it.
It was that door, the dude just comes over, closes the door, and locks it, just does not want to interact with us. It says they've been hospitable since the 1880s. That was not very hospitable, to quote you and steal your joke.
Yes, exactly.
Just so you're aware, I just saw him go in there. So in Germany, you have to pay money to use public bathrooms. This is a real thing. It's barbaric. It's savage. I've literally walked out of places for this, although he got apparently some sort of 50 cent euro coupon. I don't know what this is exactly good for, but that makes it slightly easier. So we decided we needed a burger, and we're going to Burger Meister. Is this kind of like a McDonald's?
Basically, and one of them is called the Hausmeister, which is a janitor.
Janitor?
A janitor. So it's all the puns with Meister and burger.
I see. So basically, if you eat this, you're the janitor. No, I'm just kidding. Whatever. It's a pun. What do I get? What's your recommendation?
I know you have hamburger, cheeseburger, chili. You can understand it.
No, I can't. But what I can understand is the Union Jack. I guess we're eating here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go through this. So you got the janitor burger?
I got the janitor burger.
And what did I get?
You got the Butcher Master.
The Scheisse burger?
Yeah, it's meat.
It's meat and So we just came out of Burger Meister. What'd you think?
I think it's pretty good. The prices are a little bit higher than McDonald's, but like 10 times better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad saying we were comparing it to McDonald's, but it's not McDonald's. It was actually good. I wouldn't call it like a great burger, but it was actually really good for fast food. For German fast food. Burger Meister, right?
Yes, highly recommended. I think it's the only store. I don't think it's a chain.
Then it's not a chain. I don't know, whatever. We liked it. Shut up. Guten Morgen. I just came out of here, actually. I've already had breakfast and all that fun stuff. WWII, I don't know how to pronounce it, is a grocery store. So I just kind of explored, see if I found anything interesting. Honestly, I was looking for a coffee. They didn't have one. But they did have some soda, and they had one I wanted to try because I don't think I've ever seen it before. Dr. Pepper Vanilla Float. And this is not an American import. This is actually produced in Germany. So, I don't know. But it's called American Football Edition #1. I hate hand egg, but I do want to try this. That's intense. I don't know what to make of it. It kind of tastes like Dr. Pepper. Kind of tastes like a vanilla float. And kind of tastes like gasoline. I don't think I like it, but I kind of like it. I don't know. I think this is one of those that's going to grow on me. So it's funny. I was hanging with Chris yesterday, and he was talking about Dr. Pepper, and he was one of those, I don't like Dr. Peppers. I can do a little bit of it, and then I hate it. And I can't help but wonder if maybe that's just the way the Germans do it, because it does. This does. I mean, I know it's the vanilla float version, but this truly, even at the base, does not really taste like Dr. Pepper. It kind of, if I didn't know any better, I'd say this was spiked with massive amount of alcohol. Like it's something different. Yeah, this is getting into I can't finish it territory. Skip. Yeah, I had to get rid of it. It was terrible. Ugh. So it's been a bit. I was hungry. I went here. It's a place called Bavarian Restaurant, which is kind of like saying pizza place, you know, whatever. Bavaria is a southern section of Germany where Munich and stuff is known for the sausages, the pretzels, that kind of thing. I would assume the locals would scoff at this as being inauthentic, but I enjoyed myself, although I will say the pretzel in particular, that was amazing. Just like loaded with butter and cheese, because, you know, fat guy. Sausages were good. No complaints. But inside, the funniest thing is they have this staircase with languages from around the world, and I couldn't help but notice that one of the countries depicted was the company Pfizer. That's just cool to see actually in Germany. Okay, so what are we doing now other than having disgusting beverages? We are coming here. This is called the Berlin Bunker Story. It is, of course, largely based on the World War II bunkers the Germans were famous for making during the war, and there's supposed to be a recreation of like Hitler's Führer bunker and all that stuff in there. Never been here, but looks pretty cool. Let's go. Now this I like. Cards only, no cash allowed. So they basically have a warning about behave yourself. There's video surveillance. I don't know how much filming we'll do, but I'll try. Well, I just came out of there. That was something. Sorry, there's no footage in there. They have a very strict policy on it. It was constantly repeated, made very clear to me, like no photos, no pictures, no video, nothing. Be respectful, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, that's fine. The majority of it is, it's like, this thing is huge, and of course it goes underground as well. And it basically just talks about, frankly, what happened in the 1930s in Germany with the rise of the little mustache man and everything that he did, how he did it politically, how democracies can fail when you allow them to, etc. And obviously the constant quote that was thrown in your face was, how could this happen? They repeat that. You get an audio tour and you just walk around with like this little machine and you just go from room to room to room and, you know, pressing the button that's associated with it. It took for a lot longer than I expected. I was expecting like a half-hour thing. It was like maybe 2 hours long, and that was just kind of casually paced. I think the best part, though, was they have a semi-recreation of Hitler's actual bunker. That's probably the most interesting part to me. I wouldn't say I really picked up on a whole lot, but it was kind of interesting with something that Chris had told me. He was like, when we grow up in Germany, we're told a lot about the war, from like the 8th grade to like the equivalency of like the 13th grade. He's like, that's what they teach us incessantly, to the point where most Germans never want to hear about it again. And he's like, I feel like that's the wrong message, because yes, it's ingrained in us, but at the same time, like, you get so frustrated by it that anytime anybody brings it up or compares to it, like, we won't talk about it. I felt like it was almost like that. Like, it's so overloaded that you almost lose interest in it. And that's not good, given what the subject matter is. That was just kind of my take. Overall, I do think it's a cool thing to check out, see the history. You also have access to, like, the deeper part of the bunker as it looked in 45. So they built that. Actually, Hitler had that built in 1942 after the British started bombing Berlin. He was like, all right, we're going to shove people in there if the bombing raids start. So that was its original purpose. I should also mention, at the very end of it, it has a whole section on the Ukraine war. And it, you know, you get different narrators, because I think they started doing this before the Ukraine war started. And when the Ukraine war stuff comes in, it's a totally different guy. And it basically is making the point that, like, part of what motivated them to make this museum was to, you know, avoid fascism coming back. And he was like, and here it is, you know, the Russians are the new Nazis, you know, and so we should do a lot more to prevent this, is really the case it was making. I'm sitting here still kind of reflecting on the bunker museum, and while I enjoyed it, I might have gotten more out of it if I didn't know so much about that subject matter already. So I can't really speak to it from that position. As someone who does know a lot about it, I can't say I really learned anything. At least nothing really substantial. But more so the YouTuber in me is more annoyed by the fact that they don't allow filming in there. Because it seems very antithetical to the whole point, the whole message of the museum, which is spread this information people need to know. So why are you using dictatorial practices to not allow the spread of information? So dinner time. There's my hotel. There's that Italian place, the one where I had the calzone. I decided because the calzone was good that I was going to go back and get some pizza. Now, I usually don't do that. But when I was in there that one time, they only spoke Italian in there. They didn't even speak German. So I was like, it's probably going to be pretty good. Oh, it was incredible. It was, I got a margarita style, so it's just cheese, basil, tomato sauce. Kind of the bare bones version. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I also got a cherry banana juice, which was very good. And an espresso. Now that I'm full, I'm going to maybe walk a little bit, walk some of that off, and then I'm going to bed. Guten Morgen, day 7, 8, I don't know, doesn't matter. Not much going on today. I've done a little bit of grocery shopping. Check this out. That's just too easy. Check it out, this girl is job. So I'm inside an Aldi grocery store, and there are certain stereotypes about Germans when it comes to weird flavored things, the obsession with marzipan, etc. This might take the cake. This is strawberry spaghetti flavored chocolate, white chocolate. I had it translated. It is actually spaghetti. Yeah, I ended up buying one of those anyway for my cousin because I need to make him suffer. But I also did something for Sunshine, you know our buddy Sunshine?
Oh, I didn't notice you there. I was just cleaning my Hitler games.
He likes to collect, you know, strange box art for video games and things like that. So I got him a pack of the Super Dickmans, which apparently there is actually lore to this. They used to have a much more offensive name that I cannot say, but I will put a single photo up. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I picked him up then. He can add that to his collection just because it's funny. And just as I'm filming this, I just noticed this. Next to this, there's a place that says, Other Nature, come inside. And it's spelled, you know, like ejaculation. And then I realized it actually is a sex shop. So I was walking along down the street, and I come here, and there was just like a little box, and they had some DVDs and stuff in there. And I wasn't, you know, I was just kind of curious what it was. Glanced at it, walked away. And a dude comes and, you know, pulls me over, and he basically tells me, he's like, hey, all this stuff there is free, like we're just throwing it away, so if you want any of that stuff, take it. So they actually had some audio cables I need. So I was like, oh, I was gonna buy these when I got home, but they're free. And I found a game for Sunshine. It's a PC game, it's sealed, it's some German title about, like, it looks like Deliverance for kids. You're just going around the Mississippi River. I just think he'll get a kick out of it, so I was like, all right, fine. I just checked, this is called Missing on the Mississippi. Which, if you'll recall, is kind of the plot to Deliverance. So there's this really cool game store called World of Games here. Seems to be run by, I think he was Turkish, but he doesn't speak English, but it was very nice. It's cash only. There's tons of stuff in there. It was like impossible to actually film in there. I would have, but yeah, it was one of those things where you probably could sit there for hours and just keep unearthing things, but since I lack the communication skills to justify my presence there, the store is very, very small, so you're taking up a lot of real estate just by existing there, and it's cash only. You start to get demotivated, but very cool store. If you're willing to do that kind of game hunt, World of Games. It's cool. All right, it's been a minute. I actually fell asleep. It happened again. Anyway, jet lag, but it doesn't matter. So I wanted food, right? I went to this place called Tomasa. It's like looks like a house, but it's really nice. So I already ate the food. I got an orange juice because I love it here. Double espresso because I needed the caffeine, as well as it came with a big thing of bread, which was beautiful. Didn't request it, but you know, it was very, very good bread. Usually I pass on the bread at restaurants, but I knew the bread here was going to be baller, and it was. But I got a schnitzel, beef schnitzel. with the side of German potato salad. And then a little cranberry sauce thing with it. It's very, very good. I couldn't actually finish the entire thing, unlike the massive calzone. But what's funny though, so there's a story here. So Germany is still a little behind on the credit cards thing, a little like Japan, where it's kind of in your best interest to double check before you go in, you know, hey, do you take a credit card? So the first person I asked, I just showed a credit card to. She just happened to not speak English, but I thought she understood me because she was like, oh yeah, and then she just like waves. And then so, very long story short, they find someone who can speak English, who works there, and the back and forth was, I kept trying to ask, can I use a credit card here? And she kept saying, you have to buy something before we can charge you. Like that was until eventually it was figured out, like, no, do you accept credit cards? Oh yes, of course we do. All right, so all good there. So got to chit chat with my waitress there for a bit. Her English was not perfect. I mean, we had a little bit of, hang on, what do you mean? Moments, which was no problem. But the very end was funny. So she just asked me, like, where do you come from? And I said, Chicago. She's like, oh, so far, you know, like, why Berlin? Like, why? She straight up asked, like, why would you come here? And I was like, oh, tourism. She's like, really? Like, she just couldn't, like, that. I guess it's in a summer thing. It's just, at the time of recording, that's not the case. And then, so she's like, Chicago. Michael Jordan still? And I was like, Michael Jordan. So the restaurant's right there. Somebody discarded a whole cake. What is up with that? You don't do that.
And that'll do it for part 3. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned to the 4th and final part of this series in which we are actually going to Poland. It'll be a lot of fun. But until then, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you've never done that before, as well as check out all the social media stuff in the description: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, Spreadshirt, etc. Appreciate the support on those platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.